So what's been going on with you?
Uh, we got kittens, so every 4 hours they need to be cleaned. Not cleaned. They need to go to the bathroom. They need to eat,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of cleaned. And stuff around the house, cutting down old trees and all that junk.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like you guys have been or I don't know if it's both of you or just Valerie, but I've been seeing the updates on the garden and stuff, and looks like that stuff's coming along.
It is, man, but they're like, I don't know what the hell, the caterpillars and stuff are eating it as much as they possibly can, and it like you go out there with neem oil and spray them, and then like they don't eat it for a few hours, and in the afternoon they're already back putting holes in it.
Yeah, that's what's tough. That's what's tough with growing outdoors. It's just so many things will try and eat it, that's for sure.
And then we got this greenhouse, but they're supposed to deliver it, and then it turns out it's out of stock. Now we gotta wait, and then order a new one.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But other than that, just trying to keep up with the news and not get pissed at all the coronavirus stuff and
Yeah, so let's get into that. I know, starting yesterday, some parks and beaches and stuff started opening up with restrictions. I know the beaches kind of only swimming activities, so like surfing, swimming, and those types of things, kayaking, paddleboarding are allowed, but walking and running, you can do that, but you can't sit there on the beach and, use it for what it should be used for,
for the reason we all pay so much to be here.
Exactly.
Yeah, so like that's fun because by that logic, apparently the coronavirus doesn't get to you if you keep moving.
Yeah.
Is that what they're saying? I'm
Yeah.
not really sure. Yeah, so that's some stuff's opening back up, and that's cool. But to add the face mask in public thing starting May 1st is stupid.
That's a little worrisome.
It's dumb. I went to a local grocery store, and they've been mandating masks for a few weeks now, so I stopped going.
Yeah.
But there was something we needed specifically from that store, and I went and I tried to walk in without my stuff on, of course, but they have somebody posted at the front door, fucking gatekeeper. And it's just like some teenage girl, early 20s. Like, they don't even know what the hell they're doing. They're just following orders.
Exactly.
That's even more annoying. Like, I would rather have an argument with somebody at the door who thinks the virus is gonna kill everyone.
And stands for what they believe in and what they're enforcing. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, if they, like something they've read, even if I don't agree with it, like at least they're trying. But this is just a kid trying to collect a paycheck. Just doing what she's told. And I've had negative experiences with this grocery store anyway.
Yeah, I think it's the one. I think it's the one. I'm thinking of, and if so, man, you gotta tell that story. And if you have that video still, man, we gotta post that, because that might be one that goes a little viral, because that was a good interaction. If you're not comfortable sharing it, that's on you. But I think that'd be pretty fitting for this channel. I don't know if you want to do it now or another time when we're together, but
I'll get into it now. So it has a little bit of a precursor, which I don't even know if I've told you. But I think it was sometime last year. I was at this grocery store. I was leaving, and I saw some big dude. I'm about 6 feet tall. He was taller than me and like bigger. Into an argument or something with someone who was much smaller and looked a lot younger. And before I knew what was going on, the big dude had the little guy like in a full Nelson.
Jeez.
And was like, almost like master locking him, for those who know.
Yeah.
Back into this grocery store. And like he like walked him like full Nelson him all the way like to like where like it looks like maybe there's offices. You know what I mean? Like probably where they count money and the bosses sit and all that.
Yeah.
So I started asking questions. I was like, hey, what's that about? And they're like, oh, that's, loss prevention. So if somebody's stealing, they like go, call them out or whatever. And I asked, like, are they allowed to put hands on people like that? And the cashier's like, oh, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Just doing what they're
Not
told.
my business. Yeah, exactly.
Don't acknowledge the world or the person being like dragged through the store, and he was saying like this kid, I'm gonna call him a kid, was saying like, I think he was like yelling either I'm not 18 or I'm 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And nobody's looking at this.
Yeah.
There's a grown man manhandling a teenager who's saying, I didn't do anything. I'm underage. Get off of me. And no one's acknowledging it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I waited for this big guy, this loss prevention dude, to come out of the store again because I'm a psycho. And I started asking him questions, and I'm like, hey, man, I introduced myself, and I went in and I shook his hand real quick, because if you catch people off guard with niceness, they don't know what to think.
Yeah.
I started asking him, are you allowed to do that? What, like, why are you allowed? Blah, blah, blah. And, like, he started to get pissed with me, and then he, like, waved me off and went inside. But I was livid, because this poor kid who may have been 16 and not doing anything wrong just got his rights violated by somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Fraser Farms is like, yep. Oh shit! I mean, the grocery store is like, "Yep, here's your money for
Oops.
abusing a minor." Oops, whatever. Fuck them, Fraser Farms. So I'm already like, I know there's loss prevention. I know they like are kind of wily, and I found I think one other loss prevention dude because he's always there. He's always buying like the same stuff, and I've seen him at another of this grocery store chain. So like now I'm scoping him out. Like, I'm keeping an eye on him.
Yeah.
And right when this all happened, I think March 13th was when my job was like, all right, we're not coming in next week. So I left early because I knew it was about to go down, and I wanted to get some extra supplemental stuff just in case. And I was getting immune boosting like nutrients, little vials, and like you add it to your what's like turmeric and shit like that. You add it to your water, you drink it, and I was like, okay, cool, $12. And without even thinking, I like had my hands full. I had my wallet in one hand, and I was like, I don't like carts, so I had my hands full, and I like shoved it in my pocket, and I grabbed my wallet, and I'm like situating whatever. Go to checkout, get all my stuff, pull this thing out of my pocket, put it on the conveyor belt, pay for it all. And as I'm walking out, some skinny little dude with glasses blocks my exit and says, "Hey, how you doing today?" And I'm like, "What? Good. What's up?" And he flashes me this little dinky Woody from Toy Story badge and says, I'm from loss prevention. You want to show me what's in your pocket? And I don't respond well to people immediately trying to take hold of a situation by force and fear.
Yeah.
Because making somebody do something through force or fear is like the definition of terrorism. So I don't take kindly to it, especially someone blocking my exit. And he doesn't know this, probably, because why would he? But if you block somebody's exit, at least in the state of California, that's considered kidnapping. So if there's one exit and he's standing in the way and saying, I can't move, he's now breaking an actual law.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and like I said, this was March 13th, right when everything was going down. Like, my lady was at home waiting on ingredients for dinner so we can cook. And I'm like, my brain's already 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, trying to get home. And this dude stops me, and my brain thinks about 5 or 6 different things at once. So I let him say his piece. He's like, are you going to show me what's in your pocket? He's all, fake assertive. And I'm like, are you accusing me of stealing? And he said, what did he say? He didn't even say yes or no. He was like, are you going to empty your pocket? Are you going to show me what's in your pocket? And I'm like, are you accusing me of stealing? And then, like, I got pissed very quickly because he didn't go about it the right way. He should have gone about it in a different way. He went about it in a way that like a big, tough ex-biker dude could get away with. He was a little skinny guy. He's not going to boss me around. And so I said, okay, hang on. I put my shit down and I grabbed my phone and I recorded his face. And I said, hey, man, what's your name? And he said, does it matter? And that pissed me off even more. And I asked him, I said, are you accusing me of stealing? And he said, are you going to empty what's in your pocket? I asked him his name again. He wouldn't give it to me. I said, are you a cop? And he said, well, I'm loss prevention. And I said, okay, so no. So you have no authority, no legal right to do this at all.
Yeah.
And then I noticed there was a dude to my right, another possible exit, who was also blocking that direction.
Yeah.
So eventually I think we can post the video. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
But he was accusing me of stealing indirectly. He had another dude with him who was supporting him. And I kind of just read him the riot act on how they have no authority. They're making shit up, and they're making people submit to it, and that's not cool. That's illegal.
Exactly.
You can't just demand somebody stay in a place and answer your questions if you have no authority to do so.
Yeah.
They don't. And I told them, if I had more time, and if we weren't right at the beginning of whatever the hell this is going on, I would absolutely stay here and have you call the cops to waste their time because you are wrong in doing your job incorrectly.
Yeah.
And he started to wane, and he started to kind of look unsure, and he was glancing at the other guy like, line, what do I say?
Yeah.
Help me. I threw it all at him. Like, I watch a lot of those First Amendment audits and shit, and those are like people talking to cops, you know?
Exactly.
Some little dude, sorry, bro, you're not even an obstacle for me. I'm gonna teach you something. So, yeah, he didn't really know what to say anymore, and after a while, I was, you know what? I gotta get out of here. My lady's waiting. Check this out, homie. And so I put all my stuff down. I pulled out the receipt, and I went through each individual thing with him. And I was like, and I knew what he thought I had stolen.
Yeah.
But I knew that I had paid for it.
Yeah.
And I dragged it along because he was wasting my time, so I was going to waste his. And I looked right there, and I pointed. I was like, this item right here, $12.95. That, and then he didn't respond.
Yeah.
I was like, bummer.
And then you just like left.
Yeah, and then I split. Like, I was kind of waiting. Anyone else want to say anything? Neither one of those dudes gave me their name. Like, they refused to give me their name, which is not okay.
No, that's not okay.
And like, not to say like women are weak or anything, but if I was like a single younger female and two dudes block my exits and say, do this right now on no authority that I have, that's bullshit.
Yeah, they would just take it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like that kid who got manhandled.
Exactly, yeah.
That's bullshit. That's not okay. If you think I'm stealing, call the fucking cops. Otherwise, go work at Ross, dude. Don't be like, get out of this grocery store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I kind of read on the Riot Act. I talked to him about freedoms and oppression, and I think I threw in Nazis starting NASA in there.
Yeah, I think that was thrown in there.
Because they did the whole just doing their job thing.
Yeah. The Nazis were just doing their job. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, well, I'm not a Nazi. I'm like, I didn't say you were, homeboy.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that was that. So I have a hard time with this specific grocer anyway. I'm trying to go other places, even though they're farther away. But yeah, so.
But yeah, just it gets back around to that, getting back around to like that mandatory mask situation. It's just like, yeah, man.
People who don't know trying to tell me they know, you know? And
yeah.
And then I put it about here, which is not how you wear a mask.
Yeah.
They were fine with it.
It doesn't make any sense.
The employees are like, and they lift it up and like scratch their face and shit, and then they go back to doing their cashier work.
Yeah.
You know, or they like let it rest right here, and it's like you got like, they don't know. And like, granted, I'm not a doctor. I did take some pre-medical classes in high school, and both my parents are nurses. If you wear a mask, it needs to be suctioned all the way, and it needs to remain there. You can't pull it up, you can't pull it down, you can't scratch underneath it. And if you're wearing something that necessitates a mask as far as the spread of sickness, you also need to wear gloves. And if you wear the gloves, you got to change them after everything you touch, or else you're potentially cross-contaminating off of everything you touch to that point.
Yeah.
So it makes zero sense for everybody to just be wearing a bootleg mask or a bandana, or it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Especially that, considering that nobody's wearing anything on their hands.
Yeah.
You know, like in the beginning, it was like mask and gloves, and the gloves very quickly fell off.
Yeah,
you know?
There's some people that still use them and talk about it, but yeah, that's not really, nobody's homemaking gloves. It's all about the masks and everything, and yeah.
And to the people that are wearing masks and wearing their gloves and changing them out every time they touch something, hey, at least they stand by what they believe.
Exactly.
Like, they know, they're researching, and I you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One thing I do, I'm fine with keeping 6 feet away from people. That's cool with me. Like, I don't want to freak anybody out. I don't need to be that close to anybody anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll give people their space. That's fine. Whatever. But when it's making us wear a mask now, even to be outside doing stuff.
That's correct. Like, how are we gonna go on a run, or if people want to go swimming, or in the ocean? The ocean is open now. What are you supposed to do?
Right.
Wear a mask in the ocean? Like, what?
Yeah, and then now it's gonna be like dolphins test positive for coronavirus.
So now we gotta ban the beaches again.
Yeah, yeah, it's all trash. It's all stupid. Like in the beginning, I was like, okay, there's probably a strain, but it's not as bad as everyone's saying. Now I'm like, it's fucking fake. The whole thing is dumb. The whole
Yeah.
thing is they're calling flu stuff, other stuff. They're calling heart attacks COVID. Like I'm done. I'm just
Yeah.
going to the other stuff completely.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean it is interesting. Some places are starting to open, but then there's places like Solana Beach and Carlsbad that, you know, decided to kind of remain closed still and keep their beaches closed. And you know, there was these protests in Pacific Beach and Encinitas and Carlsbad. And there's been a few of them that have been happening. What was that?
I was surprised Carlsbad was protesting.
Yeah, even Encinitas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what are your thoughts on, because there's been, I think there was even one today or this morning.
I've lost track of all of them, which is good. I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
Like May 1st is going to be a big day. That's when the mask rule goes in effect, at least for San Diego County. And I do know the one caveat to that is if you're going to be less than 6 feet away from people. So I'm considering just wearing a t-shirt that says stay 6 feet away from me, not wearing a mask, and seeing how that unfolds. I went to a different grocery store, and I didn't come within 6 feet of anybody the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
So I might roll the dice on doing that. I don't know. But I know May 1st is also going to be a big protest day up and down the state of California. I know they're going to hit Sacramento again. So that will be maybe not a turning point, but I think that'll be indicative of maybe what's to come for the next month or so.
Yeah.
Right before we got on, I was informed that Newsom's talking about opening up schools during the summer. So, I mean, number one, talk about flip-flop. He goes from like, you know, it's going to be like this forever or until vaccines or we don't know to, yeah, we're going to start school during the summer. Like,
Yeah.
seems
Like what changed? How did that happen?
Right, exactly. I really, really think part of it at least has to do with all the protests, all the people not taking shit anymore. Like even I'll go on this app I have about news and they'll have some stupid COVID thing up and people are just tearing it to shreds.
Yeah.
Like people are calling out Bill Gates. People are saying how it, you know, the statistics are skewed. Like the voice percentage of the population is, I think, starting to realize it's not all what they've been saying. And I'm hoping that's why some of these parks are opening, the beaches are opening, and they're going to start to relax stuff. And hey, start the school year in the middle of the summer. Like, let's get people back working and back to school learning and and do stuff again. I'm all about it.
See, I think yesterday when they initially started opening things with restrictions, I think yesterday was the start of whatever direction it's going to go in. It could be either a positive direction where we slowly start to, you know, get things back to some sort of normalcy, or, you know, they could, you know, spike the numbers because people are going out and, you know, the numbers will be manipulated and show that there's been all these deaths, and then we'll have to be kind of on a more strict lockdown, and who knows for how long then. So I feel like yesterday was kind of a big turning point for whatever direction it's going to go in.
Yeah, I have thought about them letting us all out and then doing the whole, oh, but it's spread again, go back inside. I think that's very possible.
Yeah.
I think I keep hearing and reading more about either a second wave or a second pandemic.
Yeah.
And something stuck with me from Jordan Maxwell, who is smarter than I think most people I've ever heard in my life, pointing to October being a really big tipping point and kind of getting dark. So I'm a little concerned that we're going to go back to working. Everything's going to kind of get motion and get going, and then closer we get toward election time, it's going to go drastically downhill again.
Ramp up again, but yeah.
If I'm to read into schemas and cognitive behavior, I would venture to guess, now that they've conditioned us to panic buy toilet paper, and be at home. If and when they do a second wave or a second pandemic toward the election time, it will trigger that instinct in everybody now, and that's what they're counting on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means or if it's completely unfounded, but just looking at patterns of how they do things, and what is coming out and what information has been here about coronavirus before it was even an active coronavirus in our communities, I think like that's a possibility.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
buy food, buy guns.
What's that?
Buy food and buy guns.
Yeah. What do you think it's gonna do with the election and with Trump? Do you think they're gonna push it back at all? Do you think they're gonna rush it at all? Like, what do you think? Do you think it's gonna hurt a particular party? Do you think it even matters truly? Like, what are your thoughts on all of that? Like, come this election in November.
Oh man, that's a fun one. There's a lot of ways it could go. So it could go second pandemic hits in October. We stayed locked down because this time the sickness is really dangerous and does kill people very quickly. And voting is just completely thrown out of the window because everybody's dying left and right. I think that's unlikely. It could go a second wave or a second pandemic hits in October, and we're supposed to stay indoors, but Trump is like, but if you want to vote, go vote. You know what I mean? And like, I've noticed a lot of these protesters are doubling up on stuff with pushing the MAGA thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to reopen stuff, and it's MAGA. So maybe the scared people with masks stay home and don't vote, and then all the MAGA people do go out and vote.
Yeah.
And Trump gets another. But I'm also kind of not haunted, but I have this little reminder of that book, The Last President, that's basically referencing Donald Trump. So I don't know how that would work or if he would change stuff. I don't know. The more time is going on, the more I'm a little concerned that he is not as patriotic as like the QAnon people hope, but I'm not sure. As long as Biden doesn't get in there, man, honestly, I don't care.
Yeah.
Biden, no,
I mean,
Obama, no third term, no.
Speaking of that QAnon thing, I mean, I remember when we were first talking about all this, you had kind of pointed out, I believe it was April 10th or something?
Yeah.
And nothing, as far as I know, ever came from that.
No.
Yeah, so that's why me and you have had separate conversations. So that's why it's so hard to trust this QAnon thing. And it's like, to me, I've never seen any actual proof of really anything, or if there's been anything, it's been some small little coincidence that you have to stretch to kind of make it fit their narrative that is super vague always, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's why I've always struggled with that group. But yeah, have you been keeping up with that at all, or?
Like, lackadaisically. I follow maybe like a handful of people who are like super about it. And so when something comes out, they'll quote it, they'll screenshot it, they'll talk about it. So I read.
So what's going on? What are they talking about right now? Because nothing happened, you know, like nothing keeps happening. Or do they keep saying stuff happens and we just aren't hearing about it? Or like, what's going on with that?
It's got to be a little bit of all of it, but I think most recently, it's been a lot of trust the plan. And a lot of what I perceive.
That's what it was from the very beginning. Oh, just trust the process, trust the plan. And it's like, well, you're being super vague about it, and you're not giving us really many details. So what are we to trust?
Right, and like you were saying about it being vague, and like maybe you have to like stretch for it to make sense. When those earthquakes were going on in Southern California, one of these QAnon people had pointed out that there's underground tunnels in that area.
Yeah.
And indirectly said, like, Trump's taken out these tunnels. And, like, that's a really fun idea. It's really cool.
Because there are these tunnels. We're aware of these tunnels. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a great idea, but is it can you prove it? Can it be proved? And my thing is, if these guys are truly anonymous, why not be straightforward with your message? Like, why be so vague? If you're anonymous and you're hiding behind these forums and nobody knows exactly who you are, why are you being so vague? Like, just be blunt about it.
Yeah, no shit, right?
You know?
I've heard the theory that it's like a machine that doesn't predict the future, but already knows the future. And so we get little tidbits of it. And like in that aspect, I'm like, okay, if I stretch my mind to think that what we're living has already happened and this machine knows what's going to happen because it's already been there or whatever, and so it sends out cryptic messages because it can't exactly tell us in a blunt way what's going to happen. Like there's these weird esoteric rules that the universe allegedly follows. Like, the bad people doing bad stuff to us have to tell us what they're doing in some way.
Yeah.
Or else it's, like, not okay, and then they get the shit into the stick. Like,
yeah.
Maybe it's one of those weird, unknown, universal laws that they have to abide by, or it's horseshit. I'm like, right in the middle, depending on the day. I go back and forth. I'll give it to them. It's fun to read. It's fun to read, and it's fun to fantasize, like, oh, my God, they're fucking gonna save all the kids underground being manipulated. But where they at? Where the kids at? Yeah,
where the kids at? Where the bodies? That just like any false flag thing that we question. It's like, where's the body? Where's the proof? You know. So like that's why I gotta be skeptical about it, is because that's how my brain works with everything. You know, like I have to question it, even if it is just like, you know, a supposedly high-level truth movement. You know what I mean? I have to question it because it's like, I personally haven't seen any proof.
Yeah, I've seen them make a lot of links between like Trump and the Kennedy family and Trump trying to pick up where Kennedy left off, and there's been a few like overlaps in a few things. I'm like, that really makes it really cool, but I haven't. If I were like investing in something, if I were to invest in this, I would have pulled out my investment already because I haven't seen a return.
Yeah.
I'll put it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really fun to read, but I don't put any stock in it just yet.
Yeah.
I'm looking for it. Like, I read what people write, and I'm looking for things, and I'm like, oh, is that a reference to JFK? Is that a reference to another Kennedy? You know, but I have nothing to show for it, and especially not to where I could talk to somebody about it and convince them that it's real based on evidence. And that's kind of my meter.
And that, you know, that goes into the flat earth thing, you know. That's kind of why we started questioning that, is when you actually look into it, where is the proof and where's the facts and all of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. When you really start to pick stuff apart, a lot of it is just a house of cards.
Yeah.
And it's just a house of cards you've always told was a brick house, so you don't question it. You had posted earlier about the Pentagon and some alien stuff?
Yeah. So I just saw, I believe this was a little bit of an older story, but the Pentagon came out and stated that like these UFOs were real, and they can't explain it. And it's just it's one of these things. I believe it came out like last year, maybe 6 months ago or so, and there was these videos. Again, it's super grainy footage. You can barely make out what it is. And yeah, the Pentagon has been coming out and saying that UFOs are real. They're saying they can't explain it, so they're saying it's not our government made. And so I just found this really interesting because, you know, listening to like Eddie Bravo, he's super into flat earth and, you know, the fake alien invasion, and he said like they're gonna have a fake alien invasion after the coronavirus because that'll get us at like a one world government or whatever, because everybody will be scared of the space and all of that. So I just find it interesting timing that they're kind of letting that information out there, saying that oh yeah, these UFOs are real, we can't explain it. But it kind of goes in line with what Eddie Bravo was kind of saying.
I've heard, actually, I think John McAfee was talking about how when we come out of coronavirus, we're going to go into the apocalypse. So that's interesting that people are starting to put together, before we can come out of this completely, something else is going to hit us. A second pandemic, an alien invasion, Project Bluebeam or whatever. And that would really be a good time to catch us with our pants down, unfortunately. As far as the Pentagon specifically, I don't trust them, and I especially don't trust them if they're saying we don't know what it is. Come on.
Yeah.
At the same point, they were honest about losing $2.3 trillion, but that was September 10th, 2001, and the next day the plane crashed right into that portion of the building, and no one ever talked about it since.
Exactly.
So they kind of have a little track record of leaking information that's true, but then kind of covering it up, or just doing like a look over here kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I do think we've been prepped our whole lives to accept little green men from Mars.
Exactly.
One of the things I try and tell people, because I try to go back to not the beginning of aliens, because we'd have to go back like pre-Bible as far as I'm concerned, but at least in the last 100, 150 years, Aleister Crowley, who was into black magic and sorcery and pedophilia and all those negative bad things, he was super far into them, channeled demons, conjured demons, and I think it was the first one he conjured was named Lam, Lam, that's what he called them. And if you look at this picture of what Crowley is saying is a demon, it looks like what we accept or what we know as an alien today.
Yeah.
Small eyes, small mouth, large head, bulbous head.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to look into the difference between aliens and demons and the similarities between aliens and demons.
Yeah.
Some say that aliens are fallen angels, and I know biblically angels are neither male nor female. And with the alien subject, a lot of people have pointed out that they're not male or female, or at least they've said. So there's a lot of weird similarities between what we would consider an alien, a fallen angel, a demon. I don't think we can leave Earth's realm, so I think these beings, whatever they are here in some capacity, whether it's underground or right in front of us, but in a different dimension, as weird as that sounds. But I do think we've been conditioned to accept little green men from Mars, especially like during the 50s when NASA and with Roswell, when all that hit, everyone really started to be kind of obsessed with it.
Yeah, I mean, you could even see it just as a kid growing up in any cartoon or the movies growing up. Like, there was a ton of like Martian movies, Men in Black, like, there's always been these alien E.T. Exactly. There's always been these alien figures that they've been trying to push, and that goes with the space agenda and all of that.
Right. As bad of a movie as it was, Indiana Jones 4, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, touches on whatever these beings are, having always been here and manipulating us. So there's a lot of that, I think, has been pushed on us, so we're subconsciously made to accept it.
Yeah, like dinosaurs.
Like dinosaurs, exactly. So that all falls under the Bluebeam category, which is essentially they're going to use technology to project UFOs, aliens, whatever, in the sky, scare the hell out of us. And like you were saying, once we're all good and scared across the world, then we all look to the governments to protect us, and all the governments go, we need to unite as one to fight these alien beings.
Yeah.
And for anyone who thinks that that's crazy, Reagan has talked about it.
Yeah.
Bush has talked about it. The other Bush has talked about it. I mean, presidents sitting in office have actually said, I wonder what would happen if a force from above came and we all had to unite as one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's predictive programming. That's them putting this idea into our minds subconsciously. So when it does actually happen, we already have a schema for it. We already know what's going on. We've been cognitively manipulated to accept that little green men from Mars are coming here to kill us all, and we need to unite as one, giving up all of our freedoms and rights so that we can survive. And I think that's a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Did you hear about the Tom Hanks thing?
Which one? Or what part?
How he's donating his blood and plasma to a vaccine?
Yeah, I did read that, actually. I read the headline and I was like, I can't read this article. It's gonna just infuriate me.
Yeah. And he wanted to call it a Hank scene or something like that?
Oh my god. I can't. I don't think Tom Hanks is a good guy. I think he's a very, very bad person. And I can't
But Woody.
In spotlight. But Woody. Oh god, who was it? Kirsten Dunst recently posted a picture of Woody, a Woody doll.
Yeah.
Face down on the table. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
And I know when Tom Hanks was isolated from quarantine, David Spade had done a video and he had put a little note on his desk that said, like, talk to us, Tom Hanks. Like, so these celebrities are, like, communicating kind of secretly, but also, like, out in plain sight.
Letting it out, yeah.
Yeah, like, why couldn't David Spade just call Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
They can't text each other?
Yeah.
What the hell? So either they can't talk and they're using social media to communicate, or they can talk and they're putting this shit out there so we can go, what the hell is that?
What's going on?
I don't really know why, but a lot of it comes back to Tom Hanks and Oprah Winfrey and Ellen. A lot of these things.
Yeah.
You know?
And then obviously Bill Gates.
Well, yeah. I don't
But
know.
you're talking more about the celebrity.
The celebrity wing
Yeah. Yeah.
of the New World Order. Exactly. The celebrity wing of the Illuminati. The ones that all condition us. And yeah, so many people think Tom Hanks is great and follow him blindly just because he was in You've Got Mail or Toy Story. That they just
And
accept
Forrest Gump, man.
And Forrest Gump, yeah, exactly. Which is interesting because that's like a revisionist history because he didn't exist, but they put him into those very iconic scenes where he did.
Dude, so, oh my gosh, get this. As you're saying this, and how there's that Mandela effect with that movie, and then how they're kind of forcing a Mandela effect in the movie by having him digitally in there, you know what I mean? That's pretty interesting.
And I believe his mom was played by Sally Field, who has like 2 Mandela stories attached to her. So that whole thing I think is made to kind of mess with your subconscious on a certain level. Like, yeah, it's entertaining, blah blah blah. It's there to make money, but there's a lot more to it than that, I think.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I trip out on some of those Mandela effects because when you look into some of these things dealing like with the Forrest Gump thing, on the box it says life is like a box of chocolates, like on the actual box. But now on the movie, when you watch it, doesn't matter what copy, it says life was like. And it's like, that doesn't even make sense.
No.
And then the Star Wars one, James Earl Jones was asked about the line, and he said, it was Luke, I am your father. And now when you listen to it, it's, no, I am your father. And it's like, these are the people who worked on it, you know what I mean?
Right. Part of me thinks this stuff intentionally to subconsciously throw us off and to maybe even in touch with a different realm or a different timeline.
So hold on, you think that they planted that all of these things from way back then to then be like, oh, they'll catch on to something at some point down the line, because some of these are like really old, you know what I mean?
I think they do stuff like putting Forrest Gump into different iconic scenes to throw us off subconsciously, and then I think the stuff like Mandela effect pops onto that. I think it adds on to that uncertainty created in our minds. For instance, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they say based on a true story, right? So, and even if you go into like Blair Witch, you're like, yeah, right, it's not based on a true story.
Yeah.
Your mind somewhere is still analyzing it as if it were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it kind of creates this string, it creates this timeline to where now you can analyze stuff against it being real and against it being not real. And then it's like, okay, well, which one is real? Where it did happen or where it didn't?
Yeah.
And, you know, how do you, as the viewer, something like, for instance, when you're watching a movie, when millions of dollars have put into this movie to make you feel and think and see something, how are you as one person supposed to synthesize all of that correctly without having that all those agendas pushed? You know what I mean? And still call it entertainment. It's very strange. The Mandela Effect, I think we should do a whole episode on it in and of itself, because that one is actually fun for me.
Yeah, it's one of the fun conspiracy theories or whatever, but it still trips me out, man. There's some of them that I'm like, nah, it was this way or whatever, you know, but...
The biggest one, okay, so I was like, okay, it was like conspiracy theory candy, you know? I was like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah.
I don't remember that quote, whatever, Sinbad's a genie. But then I got to the Mona Lisa and I was like, bullshit.
Exactly. There's certain ones that are like, what the fuck?
Because I remember being like young, between maybe 10 and 13, and reading about the Mona Lisa and how like people would debate and theorize, like, smirking, is she not? Why would she be smirking? Because she's a male. Like, and like it was this big thing. I remember reading about it, and now you Google it, and she's straight up smirking.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
So did I make up all those memories, or did they change the fucking painting?
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. That was the one that I was like, okay, there's more to this than just I misremembered a movie line.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we should do an episode on that where we maybe each bring our top 5 Mandelas or something, and there might be a couple crossovers or something, but yeah, maybe we should plan to do that at some point.
I'm down. Since I'm so ill prepared, I think I need to charge my phone, so bam, I'll be back.
All right. So yeah, just here, just going over this stuff. It's crazy that the Tom Hanks is gonna be donating his blood for a vaccine. Like, what is that? That makes no sense to me.
Makes no sense at all, period.
What's that?
I said it makes no sense at all, period.
Yeah, man.
And while we're on the subject, 23andMe or anything, please.
What was that? You kind of cut out there for 1 second.
So while we're on the subject, nobody give your DNA to 23andMe, please.
Yeah, I think both my parents did, but they're all interested in that stuff. But
I am too. But like, why am I gonna trust them?
I know, that's why it's like, what are they gonna do with all that DNA at some point? Like, they have it now and they can use it, and who knows what they're gonna do with it. They probably have something in the fine print where they could sell it or freeze it or something. Who knows?
For sure they obtained rights to it.
Yeah.
So they can legally like make a clone of you.
Yeah.
Like, which, I mean, clones exist, so that shit's weird. I don't know.
Yeah. It is weird. What do you think clones are? You think it's more mind control? You think it's actual, like, another physical body of someone? What do you think about all of that?
A lot of the clone stuff, I subscribe pretty heavily to what Donald Marshall has said, to where they and if you've seen Black Mirror, goodness gracious, my phone.
Oh, you cut out there for a second. You said if you've seen Black Mirror.
Yeah, I gotta find a way to prop this up. I can't. Oh, I'll just hold it. So, yeah, if you've seen Black Mirror, you may understand this as well. But Donald Marshall basically says they transfer your consciousness elsewhere. So when you're sleeping and you're in that REM-driven cycle, and your eyes are going back and forth in your head, they take your consciousness.
They can hijack it, yeah.
They hijack your mental being, and they put it into a clone of you that's, like, let's say in a prison cell somewhere. So you go to sleep and then you wake up in this jail cell being tortured for information, for compliance. There's all sorts of things.
Yeah, there's been so many different stories because I listened to Donald Marshall probably a couple years back now, and who knows what validity there is to it, but he said there was like the celebrities there and they're being used to like write songs and used in all these other ways, and it's an interesting thing. So that's more where you kind of lean towards?
That's what I think is going. I mean, I think the technology to make a person has been around forever. I mean, not forever, but I think it's existed well before our lifetimes. So the actual like brick and mortar of a clone, sure, absolutely, it exists, and I'm sure it has for a very long time. But the actual person part of it, I subscribe to the transfer of consciousness through the REM cycle. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think we see that, like I said, in Black Mirror specifically. I don't remember the title. Maybe you do. The one with Miley, where they make her a robot. Basically.
Oh yeah, I forget the name of that one. It was on the newest season out. Yeah.
And I think they kind of do a few things with that idea.
Yeah.
But putting your consciousness into something else and then manipulating that something else, I think, is 100%. Not even plausible, but I think
that's actually a good point, because that is a good probably representation of what it could be, because I remember watching that one and I was like, oh, this is it. Like, this is, wow, I can't believe that they're putting this out there and it being Miley, you know what I mean? Like, that's what tripped me out. Like, was she being used for that, or was she aware of it? Like, was she doing it to be like, hey, I'm breaking free from this? Or like, was she doing it to be like, no, I'm doing this because I'm aware of this? Or it's a weird thing for sure. I do remember that episode, and I remember like, whoa, I can't believe they're doing this.
Yeah, and in that episode, I believe a family member of hers is keeping her like sedated.
Yeah.
It's interesting considering that her fame came because of her dad.
Yeah, and then also Britney Spears and her thing where she, what is it called, where her dad, I think, is in charge of all of her finances and all of her decisions.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure he has POA on like everything of hers.
Yeah.
And I think she petitioned to get him removed or get some of her power back, and he basically calls her crazy and puts her in a mental institute.
Yeah.
So, like, she gets cuffed and she gets held.
That just happened last year.
There's a handful of celebrities where I think they have played the game. They've flown too close to the sun, but then they like try to break out. I think Kanye's tried it. I think Gaga's tried it, and Britney Spears for sure
Yeah.
has tried to break free of this stuff.
And I think Miley too, because you've seen her kind of ups and downs,
Yeah, and when she came back from like her big kind of she had like a handful of years where she was just all over the place.
Doing the hip hop thing and all of that, smoking mad weed.
Exactly. When she came out of it, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said a few things that kind of leaned toward like not being in control, like not being able to make your own decisions.
Yeah.
And they're celebrities, they have to uphold the business side of what they do.
Their contracts, yeah.
Yeah, she has to sell herself constantly. They all of them do. But the way she was talking about it seemed deeper than that. You know what I mean? It seemed like she felt, at least, she was being literally controlled.
Yeah.
Not asked to do something, but made to do it.
Forced, yeah.
Forced, exactly. Yeah, I think Miley definitely tried to break through, but I that's where I'm at with the cloning thing. I think it's all way too real. They actually just Netflix, by the way, if for those people out there who are trying to keep tabs on this weird shit permeating through pop culture, Netflix is like the biggest offender, I think. They're always pushing agendas, and they recently released a show, I think it's called Living with Myself, with Paul Rudd, where...
Oh,
have
yeah.
you seen that?
I haven't. I wanted to.
It's good. He feels like shit. Somebody tells him about this spa, and what they do at the spa, he finds out because they don't give him enough like gas to put him asleep. They make a clone of him and they transfer the consciousness, and then they put him back out into the world. And the clone with the old consciousness doesn't know the difference. He just happens to wake up during the thing, and so he sees the clone of him, and he is still him.
Yeah.
And then hijinks from there. But whereas 10, 15 years ago, like, this would not have been like acceptable and famous, and they wouldn't have gotten somebody the star caliber of Paul Rudd to play it.
Yeah.
Like, now it's just another show on Netflix.
Yeah, it would be one of those fringe movie, B-movie type things, or one of those indie shows or something that'd be like subculture where nobody really pays attention to. It's just one of those weird taboo things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that, if anyone's interested in learning about cloning, that is that they walk you through how they do it.
Interesting. Yeah, I've seen that preview multiple times when scrolling through Netflix. It always catches my interest, but I never follow through with it. But I'll probably get to it at some point.
It's good. It's only one season so far. I'm sure they're gonna make more. But it's funny. Paul Rudd's funny. Like I still am blue pill in some aspects, but Paul Rudd's good, and the show tells you how to clone somebody, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then you start to think of, like, have you seen those pictures where it looks like Nicolas Cage, but from the 1800s?
Dude,
or whatever?
yeah, or Keanu Reeves, or there's a few.
There's like dozens.
Yeah.
It's really, once you start to think, okay, so like they have like, and
Jay-Z.
Yeah, Jay-Z's like spot on. Like, they openly admitted, the government in the United States, and then is admitted, or not admitted, or touting that scientifically they can clone sheep.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
And now we're getting this transference stuff talked about more and more. So if they're admitting to it now, how long has it been available to people with endless resources?
Exactly.
I don't know. And even if it wasn't available in the 1800s, who's to say they didn't save DNA? Like, that's weird, but that's the foundation of Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
They got DNA, Mosquito, and Ember, and then cloned the dinosaurs, and boom, they're back.
Yeah.
So when you put the pieces together from all over different aspects of the world and entertainment, it starts to seem much more plausible.
Definitely.
Scientifically possible and realistically plausible.
Yeah.
It
does. It trips me out too. Yeah. Like, the more you pay attention to, because you don't want to be one who just kind of sits around watching TV, watching all of this entertainment, consuming, but they do put little messages or agendas in there that, if you're aware of it, you can kind of pick up on, and that's always interesting to kind of stumble across.
Yeah, it kind of messed me up, because when I started to learn heavily about all this stuff, I was just like, why don't I just stop watching everything?
Exactly.
It's all to further something that's not good. Why do I need to stop? But I grew up like loving TV and loving movies. Like, I've seen Goodfellas 60, 70 times, like, realistically.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the entertainment. I like picking apart the storylines. I love the cinematography. Like, I really do. And so once I was like, okay, I can watch these things and look for the messages, look for the symbolism, and then turn around and put that out. And that's how I started the current Instagram that we're using now.
Yeah.
That's why I started it.
Yeah.
So I could feel like not just mindlessly accepting these messages, but also pointing out, hey, look what they did over there. Look what they did over there.
Yeah.
They're telling you these things.
And how there's so many things connected. Like, when you point it out, like, on this channel, on this Instagram, it's like there's way more that we haven't even got to, and you haven't even posted, but all of the symbolisms, all of the numbers, and it's in everything. And as long as you're aware of that, you can notice it, you can spot it out, but don't let it like affect you and let them let it work as a brainwashing tool or a manipulation. Like, understand that it's there and watch it, use it for entertainment, but don't let them have the power, you know?
Right. And that's why they do it. They put these things out there so your subconscious picks up on the all-seeing eye in a TV show or a movie, and then later on they'll use that in your subconscious to make you do something.
Yeah.
Or to make you think a certain way. Or for instance, the CBS logo is an all-seeing eye. So if you're watching TV and movies and you're looking at Lady Gaga do this, subconsciously, if you're given the choice to watch CBS or USA, like your subconscious may pick up on that all-seeing eye and go to CBS.
Gravitate towards that.
If these little seeds in you, then they pull on them.
Yeah.
And if they can't plant these seeds anymore, then you're that much more free.
Exactly.
That's where the No World Order podcast Instagram page initially started for me, was pointing these things out. And yeah, I have about a dozen I haven't made captions for, and I have about another 10 that I have listed. Some need to go get screenshots of.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just started watching 11/22/63.
Yeah.
We'll have to go into Kennedy at some point, and we'll have to go into Stephen King at some point, because they're both crazy stories.
How far are you into that show?
So, but
how many?
We both read the book. Say again?
Oh, I said how many episodes?
There's 8 total, and we've watched 2.
Okay, so you're pretty early on to it. I watched that whole series. It was just the one season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good though. I liked it a lot.
It's good, but there's always, like, you know, that party that's like, that's not how they did it in the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but like in the first 20 minutes, they're talking, and one dude,
a minute and a half.
Okay. One dude drops like 3 6s right away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or the teacher's teaching in the background. H.P. Pratt is written on the board, and he's a big occultist. Started the call of Cthulhu, but he's to the minute and a half, so we got to check out.
Yeah. A minute left.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. So, subscribe to the No World Order podcast Instagram, and we are getting these up on YouTube. Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't that shit at all.
Yeah, no, views are getting up. We just need those subscriber count up, so make sure to like, share, and subscribe to that. And are we gonna still try and do Thursday too, or just stick with Tuesdays, or?
I think we can try and do Thursday as well.
Okay, cool. We'll keep in touch.
Cool. Send us your topics of conversation, viewers. I'm down. Talk about whatever.
Yeah, this one was kind of all over the place. I liked it.
Me too. That's how my brain works.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Cool.
All right, later.